I guess it's still morning, so good morning, guys.
Good morning, sir.
How about everybody in this room stand up real quick? Stay standing if you've been trying to get this job for more than a year. Lucky 2 years. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. 9. Congratulations, Mr. Sharp. How long have you been trying to get this job?
Way back from Wildland and every other time. It's been close to 10, 15 years. Well, not that.
How does it feel to be in this room right now?
Oh, I'm still.
That's the way you should be. The rest, go ahead and sit down. All of you guys, take a moment and reflect on the journey that has led to today. 5, 8, 15 years, a year even. That's a long time. It's a lot of sacrifice and that's a lot of effort. So for me, on behalf of the other 450 plus guys that are in this department, congratulations for being in this room. And welcome.
Thanks, sir.
The reason I have you guys reflect on that is so that you can immerse yourself in this moment. Feel it. The pride, the accomplishment, the joy that comes along with your journey to this moment. Lock it in and feel it. Notice the smells in this room, the little quiver in my voice, because this is an emotional thing for me, because this is what I'm all about right now, is the brotherhood and the ownership and the duty that comes along with being a unified fire authority firefighter. There are going to be times that suck. And it's this moment, for now, that I want you guys to be able to draw upon to get you through those moments that suck. Gosh, I didn't think I was going to need this, but I think I'll pull out my little thing to keep my brain flowing. So you guys are going to go through recruit camp together. And you guys are going to graduate, and many of you will go to different shifts and different stations, and you may not see each other for years after that. But the bonds that you guys make in this class right now, I'll tell you, they go forever. I'll run into somebody that I went to recruit camp with, and maybe I haven't seen him for 4 or 5 years, and it's instant. So in this class, hone your craft and have each other's backs. Because when you get to the station, it's about, I can't convey to you how important it is to realize that it's about more than just showing up and running calls. It's about moving in to a new family and contributing to that new family. You guys look out, and I just kind of want to know from some of you guys, like Biscardi.
Yes, sir.
What does it feel like to you right now?
Well, paramedic Atkins actually showed me the seniority list, and me and my dad got hired the same day. I feel pretty proud today.
That's awesome. That video was, I caught about the last third of it, and I saw a lot of guys that were around when I first got hired. And the comment was made, enjoy it because it goes fast. I got hired 14 years ago. And it flies by. All of those guys and pictures from 93 years ago, that's a legacy. And you guys have now earned the privilege to become part of that legacy. That's a legacy and a reputation that we all need to have a sense of honor and a sense of duty to protect and to continue on. What's your name? Adam Halsey?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you? To be part of that legacy?
Very proud. I'm very excited to be part of it.
Cool. Jan, you and I've met you way before now.
Yes, sir. Just feels just tremendous, just joy, elation. I mean, all the hard work that I put in, the setbacks, and now it's just finally in this class, seeing some of the fellows that I've known before come before me. It's finally here, and I know there's still a lot more work to do, but yeah, it feels good.
It's good that you note that there's more work to do. I'm 14 years into this. Every day I show up to work, there's more work to do. There's more to learn, more to do, friendships and relationships to maintain. And that's the warm, feel-good, fuzzy part of all of this. The side that maybe wasn't in that video is the side that's going to tax you. It's going to stress you out, it's going to bum you out, and it's going to drain you. And that has so many aspects, so many facets of that. You may be aware of some of them and you may not. You're going to run calls that will tear your heart out. And that's probably not a surprise to you guys. Many of you, I recognize your last names. So you have family that you've heard stories you can relate to. You've sort of lived it through them. Some of you have been paid call and have experienced it on a part-time. Been on the same calls with many of your full-time counterparts. The side that will stress you out and will tax you that you may not realize is that when you get into a station and your tones go off at 2 o'clock in the morning and you got to go to the local retirement center because somebody fell out of bed again. Why do we gotta do this? Why can't the staff at the retirement home just pick them up? And it's easy to do that, guys. It's easy. To get fed up and burned out, it happens. And it's like a slow, sneaking up disease that if you're not diligent about it, it'll take over, and before you know it, before you realize it, you'll wake up and you're fully immersed in this piss poor attitude that nobody wants to be around, and that you're angry when the tones go off because it conflicted with whatever you were doing in that moment. We are the knot at the end of the rope. When somebody gets to the end of the rope and they got no more answers, no more ideas, and it's the worst day that they've ever experienced, we're the ones they call. And it may be a big deal in our eyes. We may perceive it as a big deal. It could be that it's a cardiac arrest. It could be a very traumatic car accident. It could also be a broken water line that goes to a little old lady's washing machine. And all of her family's heirlooms are getting wet because she doesn't know to turn off the valve. We do. It's not any less significant to her that all we did was shut off a water line than cutting someone's loved one out of a car and sending them to the hospital. It may be that same little old lady sitting at home and she's not feeling good and she doesn't have anybody to call. And so she works herself into a worry. And now she really is having trouble breathing. Not a big deal to us. I mean, that's a problem that we can readily identify and, hey, this is okay, calm down. And that's our role, is to show up and in a very professional and courteous and empathetic manner, solve whatever problem's thrown to us in 15 minutes or less. I've said that so many times. People ask me what I do for a living. I drive a fire engine. And when I get to wherever I'm going, I solve whatever problem gets thrown at me so that whoever called me can go about their day. On a lighter side of this, no 2 days are the same, ever. And that's probably one of the single greatest things, is that you're going to show up and you may be at the same station with the same dudes, but it will not be the same. Cat in a tree call, real deal. Been on it several times. I've been on a cockatiel in a tree. Hey, save my bird. It flew away, and now I got a 12-year-old kid crying. And now that's my job, you know? I got to take care of him. How do I minimize the impact of this kid's pet is flown away? You're going to get to do incredibly fun things with the guys you work with, whether it's pitching horseshoes out back for who gets to buy drinks, to parades. The first time you guys run a parade, own that for everything it is. Like you are representing us in the communities in which we work. Be proud of that and own it. In the mornings when you guys do your checkouts, you guys just signed up to be sentinels, to take care of and to have the backs of everybody that lives in this valley. Make sure you got what you need. Go through your bags. Go through the rig. Know where the stuff's at. Know how to use it. And for God's sakes, don't be afraid to ask, what is this? How does this work? I've never used this. Could you show me? And you'll run into guys that, with varying degrees of enthusiasm to do that. It's not for you to call out the guys that don't want to, but log it in your brain. Know the guys that you can learn from. When you show up at a station, if any of you guys come to my station, man, this is fun time. Let's learn. Let me share the things that I've learned in 14 years to compress your learning curve. Those guys. And there's a lot of them out there. Learn from them. Key in on their enthusiasm. And take the ones that aren't so thrilled with a grain of salt. It's like, I don't know if you guys realize his name was Squint, but he said, let a lot of things go. Just let it roll off you. There are things that are going to aggravate you and infuriate you. I'm 30 years old. I'm a grown man. How dare he talk to me that way? Let it go. There's nothing that's going to happen, no argument that's going to take place that is going to last the 25, 30, however many years you guys' career lasts. None of it matters. At the end of the day, the fire service is referred to as a brotherhood, as a family. And it's something that's so well known that any average Joe on the street, give me one thing that's associated with the fire service. Family Feud style. Survey says family, brotherhood, community. You guys are the next generation of that. The torch has been passed to you guys to bring up the rear and to make sure that in between where I'm at and where some of the guys that are more senior than me are at and where you're at and everybody in between cultivates and honors that sense of community and pride, and that it reflects in your appearance and your attitude, the readiness and the appearance of your equipment, your knowledge, your skills. If you guys commit to in day one, right now, it'll just be habit. There won't be anything to overcome. going to share with you a little story real quick, and then you guys have got lunch coming up. So, I work at Station 117. How many of you guys know where it's at? 45th South, Redwood Road, right across the street from the community college. It's one of our busier stations, and through attrition, it has become one of our smaller, older stations. It's slated to be rebuilt. But about, I don't know, let's see, 23 years ago, little 7-year-old kid walked into Station 117, and the guy's there. Give him a tour, let him try on the boots, let him try on the jacket, showed him all around, let him climb all over the engine. And then that little kid came back to the station after having left with a cake to say thanks. And he sat down there with his mom, fireman, ate cake. Of course, no surprise, there was ice cream in the firehouse, so cake and ice cream with the fireman. The little guy said to his mom on the way home, "Those guys got a pretty cool job. I think that's what I'm going to do when I grow up." 2 years into my job, I had a chance to bid 117. I've been there for 12 of my 14 years. That 7-year-old kid was me. It's an honor for me to be able to give a station tour to a little kid that may become the next generation. We never know how we're going to impact lives. You may give a plastic helmet to a kid in the parking lot of the grocery store. 15, 20 years later, you may be sitting in a recruit camp because of that interaction. Because you guys care about your skills and your equipment and you hone your craft. There may be a kindergartner, 5-year-old little girl that gets to go to her first day of kindergarten because you guys showed up and affected her life. Her parents get to stand in front of the school with her and take pictures rather than selecting a casket because you guys took pride and cared about honing your craft. And that's not to say you're not going to show up on calls. There's not a damn thing you can do. And my advice to you in that, feel it. Don't bury it. If you bury it, it becomes a cancer that eats at you. Just feel it. Let it go. And if the guys you work with aren't comfortable enough to be the ones to initiate some sort of conversation about it, talk about it. Initiate it. Don't be afraid to be the first one to bring it up. Because whether it's a 30-plus year captain or you guys, we're all cut from the same cloth, and I'll guarantee that it bothers him as much as it bothered you. Get it out there. Talk about it. And joke about it. Like seriously, we'll go on calls and we'll go back to the station and resume eating dinner and make comments about what we had just participated in that would absolutely appall the public. But it's perspective, and it's how we deal and how we cope, and there's a time and a place for that. You guys got any questions for me? Not a one.
Yeah, sir, do you ever plan on leaving 117?
I get asked that question more than you would know. I'll answer that with another piece of advice. The crew that you work with makes the station. It's not the apparatus that's in it, and it's not the area in which it's in, and it's not the newest and the nicest. It's the guys you work with that can make or break this. So my crew right now, I love them. Any one of them would go to the mat for me, and I would go to the mat for them without even thinking. So no, I don't know. We'll see. Your attitudes, though, can bring out the best in the guys you work with, and your attitudes can bring out the worst in the guys you work with too. At 17, there hasn't been a firefighter for a really long time. It's only been since January that we've had a firefighter, that it's been staffed, you know, with a BLS engine again. And it's been a rejuvenating experience for me. The guys that have come out and the enthusiasm that they have for the job, and it has breathed a whole new life into me. So don't discount your ability to inspire. Whether that's the guys you work with or the little kid at the grocery store. Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Be safe. On your craft. Thank you for letting me come talk to you guys. That's all I got for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'll walk in here and